Hi, this is Kerry Benson. This is a bit of a long video, but it shows how I created the artwork on this artistic set of nails. The filing bit. What do you reckon we're going to put on these, Helen?
I don't know.
We thought an aquatic theme under the ocean. Paint seahorses. I don't know. An anchor. We'll go shells. Shells, seahorses.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see if we can paint a seahorse. Talking of which, whilst I'm filming with this, you're going to have to let me have your phone because I'm going to need to Google some images. I need a seahorse.
I want a seahorse.
Thank you. I think a seahorse would be cute. We'll work on some of these. So I'm not entirely sure what we're going to do to them straight up. We'll do the painting first. We'll start with the painting.
Seahorse going on that one or that one?
Well, which one do you want it on?
I don't know. This one.
I'm going to paint on this nail. I've got such a squeaky chair. So if anybody wonders how this happens, this is just sort of made up as we go along. Paints. Do you want some blues? I think we need a little bit of purple in there. We want some purples, don't we?
Yeah.
And a black, actually. I haven't got a black out. Black. This is how we usually make things up. Pick an image and just going to roughly draw a tiny little bit of a white outline for placement. A bit big. Do we need to do his belly a little bit bigger? I think you'll want a little bit blue as well. Oh, picture's gone out. I think it's just sort of to give me a rough idea of where we're gonna be with it.
Sort of a watercolour wash anyway on that picture, isn't it? So it's not like a sort of draw and then a colour in. Do you know what I mean?
It's all in the detail, which is going to be difficult with such a small brush, I think. It's got such a pointy end to it. Probably do be using a shorter one. Very trumpet shaped. And then it's going to go out a little bit here. Paint in the correct consistency so that it runs off a brush like this when there's so few bristles. Can't get any of these lovely big long fronds off it.
You're going to blame my small nails now.
Well, they are very small. What are you going to call him?
I hadn't thought of christening him. It's very unlike me, isn't it? sorted. Let's see. Starfish. Cecil.
Oh,
Cecil the starfish. Not starfish. Flipping. What was it? Seahorse. Cecil the seahorse.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much of it looks like a bloody seahorse at the minute, but it's because the detail's so fine.
I can't see from here.
We've got to get some really tiny little scales in all the way around this tail. Very full of a lot of shape. Get a little bit of blue in there, watered down. I don't know how we're going to get this to stand out really. God, it's so tiny. Oh. Well, it's the best you're getting, I'm afraid.
Fine by me.
Oh dear.
Little sea bubbles.
Yeah. That's him. Done. It's not exactly like the picture, but he's pretty cute. What do you think?
I can't see, so I don't know.
Okay, you can have a look.
I love him. Hi, Cecil.
This one is rope. Helen, I've ended up doing this.
Hmm?
I failed art at school.
I know. Isn't it funny, right? You failed art, and yet look at you, right? I didn't. I passed art, and look at me. How does that work? And look at the talents of my daughter as well. It's just insane what she does.
I think I actually need a bit of silver on this. Here is a little bit of silver paint, and the silver paint is going to touch up like a white would as a highlighter. Gives it that sheen on the surface so that you know it's metal. I just need it to stand out a little bit, so what am I going to go round the anchor with to make it stand out? A touch more black, more solid definition, I don't know. Right, we got an anchor and some rope, we've got seahorse. I think we're going to top coat them now, and then we'll add gems. My chair squeaks so badly.
Mine does. At home, I mean. Well, and this one.
Oh, now the wind's howling through the house. It's great. I decided to film the other day, and the workmen pitched up outside.
Yay.
We've got an anchor and a bit of rope. This one we're going to put shells on.
Don't you just love it when you've done a good set of nails and just that top coat? You just put that brush down, you can literally see it just go ching and come to life.
I know, but I really like my painting matte these days. I don't know why, I've just decided to like it matte.
I like matte. But regardless whether it's a matte or a gloss top coat, as soon as you put that top coat, it just seems to...
Yeah, there we go. They're going to go in the lamp. So I've got all my little brushes. I've got a big selection of very fine detail. You can see how thin they are. Only a few bristles. Some are a little bit thicker but tapered. I've got an angled shader here which I use for a little bit of shading work. I've done a little bit of watercolour. This is going to be a jellyfish. Found an image on Google. So I've watered this down a bit, sorry, we're going really watery. And I want a bit of a purple in there. Just getting a bit of base colour on. And then you can clean your brush off, wet your brush. And by using it again, you're just going to take some of the paint off the surface, but also blend in what you've put on there already. You can see it thinning out a little bit. I just wet my brush again. Dry it on the paper towel before I go back on the nail, and it takes a little bit of the paint off. It gives you almost like an aquarelle look, and quite watery. I'm just going to go in and give it a rough outline. It's very difficult to do this so miniature without my hand being in the way of the painting. It's a bit of a cool jellyfish.
I like it.
A bit of shading. So here, they've got the little thick tentacles coming out underneath. Little brush strokes. Want some blue ones. I think we've got a pretty cool little jellyfish. And a little bit of, not watery enough, highlighting with the sun reflecting off it. So, top coat. Stop being such a child. She's so funny. She's called the seahorse Cecil and the jellyfish Jemima. And now she's having a giggling fit about it.
No, I'm not, because that would be immature.
Yeah. What are we going to do on these two? In the meantime, they can go in the
I was
lamp.
just going to say.
Okay, so we've got a top coat of jellyfish. Jemima.
Jemima.
Show us Cecil too then.
Cecil.
Cecil, Jemima. Closer. Yeah.
Have your close up.
Teeny weeny little plastic half pearls. And I'm going to stick one of these on with glue. We'll have this hand. Let's do this one. Doesn't really matter. We'll do lots of them. Putting a tiny pearl on there with my wax crayon. Whoops! They're like jumping beans. Okay. Here we go. Just put it on where the glue is. Let it set. I'm going to stick some shells on there, but this one I'm going to make a 3D one with white acrylic powder. So I've got the high white. The top half first, I have a little bead, probably a little bit ambitious maybe. Tiny bit there. Butt it right up to this pearl. It helps secure it on as well. Need to keep control of the product. This is the small side of our little clam. Too big. And obviously the top of the clam we want it to be quite rounded. Got to keep playing with it and playing with it until you get it as you want it. And control that bit there. With this one, put some pearls and gems on here. Crystals. Metal ones. colour we going? We're sticking with silver or gold, or you're not particularly bothered? Well, here's a teeny weeny one. You want one?
No.
That there. Out comes the top coat. Put a bit on the foil. Caviar beads. And this will go around all of these just to make sure they're not going to come off. I think we could get a few on here too. Okay, in the lamp. Okay, we're just
And his girlfriend.
top coating this. We couldn't decide what we were doing, and then we decided actually that we're going to do the pearls and a bit of seaweed on this one.
I think that would be nice with the shimmer actually.
This one is just going to be plain nude with some shells on in a cluster like you have on your other index finger. Okay, that one in the lamp. Do a little double dip, white first, then lilac. Long and thin. Another one in white and turquoise. In the meantime, we need clear. Tiny bead of I think I'm going to be having the one on. Just the one. Okay. Let's see where we're at with this. Not quite. Half of that is too big. Let's stick that underneath. That's going to anchor that on now. We're going to use this as a strand of seaweed. As it is, because it's sticky still. I think we'll get rid of that bit. Just fold that around there. This piece. So we'll make a strand directly on the nail. This helps adhere it to the nail as well anyway, if you butt it right up to it. So make sure you press it out one way and then press it back the other to get a little bit of a twist on it. Do you see what I mean? And I think a tiny bit more with purple. God, I should take a picture of the state of my desk and show everyone as well.
I can do that.
Sorry. Dragging her arm round. So we're glad we didn't go with the big one now.
Yeah.
This one too, just peeking out. You're being a good egg. Very patient.
Oh, right, what?
Time for a stop for a break. Charge my phone and get rid of them fuckers. I've done the top half of this shell. I'm just going to finish it off quickly with two tiny little bits either side. We're going to make this one white with gel polish. Okay, in the lamp. Okay, and the mother of pearl shell. Hand please. One stripe directly up the middle. And then work your way outwards. So you have raised lines. I'll start with the big lump of product at the edge and work inwards. And I've left that area sort of flat at the top. So that's going to go in a cure now. We're going over again with a second layer to raise them a little bit more. Oh, look, lovely. You can do more layers than 2 if you want, but I just think that this is enough. It's going to smooth off when I put top coat on. In the lamp again for about a minute. Right, so a coat of no wipe. Across the whole nail. And then we're going to try to brush off the excess from between the grooves, because it will all pool in those gaps, those little veins effectively. Okay, so really quick, that's going to go back in the lamp. Right, here we have some chrome. It's unicorn dust or something like that. And we're just going to rub this on here, and we thought it would give us that mother of pearl look. I haven't done it before, but it looks pretty cool, doesn't it? And you've got to rub it in really well. These little pads are great because they will, the little sponge bits will get in the grooves. Oh, I like it. So, mother of pearl shell. That's pretty cool. Top coat it again. That one going. Right in the middle here. We're going to go with the pearl. A bit of top coat. We've gone to town with decorating all of the other fingers, so we may as well go with the same theme with this one. Okay, in the lamp. Well, there you go, that's it. Video finished. It took a while for me to edit it, but I had a really good time. I'm pleased with the result. It was a long video, but I do hope that you've really enjoyed watching what I get up to every day in my salon.